the first question type that was given was obviously we were looking at direct indirect speech, right? Those of you who are familiar with this question pattern, you know what are some of the things that you need to quickly keep in mind when it comes to direct indirect speech, right? So couple of pointers, right? Need to pay attention to the tense, right? You need to pay attention to words expressing nearness, right? When I say this, I'm referring to if it's tomorrow in direct speech, it gets changed to the next day in indirect speech, right? Yesterday gets changed to the previous day. So things like that. So these are words expressing nearness, right? What are the couple of other things that you need to keep in mind when it comes to direct indirect speech, right? Things like if there's a universal truth, or if it's a habit, right? Some sort of a pattern. It's a habitual fact. Tense remains the same. It doesn't get changed. Right? So these are all some pointers to know before you attempt these question types. Right? What happens if it's an imperative sentence? What happens if it's an interrogative sentence? Imperative or assertive. Right? What happens if there is a interrogative sentence? What changes in the form or the structure? So these are all some things that you need to keep in mind. So most of you have come back and said it's the second one. So do you know the way to the bus station? Ram said to Maheen. Right? So this is a interrogative sentence. So in an interrogative sentence, you know that said to changes to asked, right? And the only option that gives you that is option 2. Ram asked Maheen if he knew the way to the bus station. Again, you have a present tense, it gets changed to past tense. So these are all a couple of things you can quickly identify. Has your father gone to work? I asked the boy, right? So if you look at it, it's in present perfect tense. Has your father gone to work? So I know one of the things that I need to keep in mind when it comes to tense is I need to change the tense from direct to indirect speech, unless it is a universal truth or a habitual fact. So having said that, in which thing that is the tense getting changed? In fact, all the options, the tenses are getting changed, but is it getting changed to the right tense, right? So present perfect tense gets changed to past perfect tense. So that option is available only in 1, 2 and 4, but I also need to look at other things, right? So except for the first one, the second one says I was asked. Incorrect. Unrelated, illogical, right? And then the third one we anyway ruling out because it says went to work. And then fourth one says I requested. So there is no request here. It's just a question, right? So obviously the right answer option is answer option 1. Mr. Patel said I shall go to Delhi tomorrow. Okay, so this is an assertive sentence, right? And we have again 4 options. So couple of things to keep in mind, because in this question type we have words expressing nearness. So what will happen to tomorrow? Does tomorrow remain the same? No, it doesn't. It needs to change to the next day. The only options that are giving that is 2 and 4, right? So from 2 and 4, again, what's the right tense? Mr. Patel said that he would go to Delhi the next day, or Mr. Patel mentioned he will be going to Delhi the next day. So obviously this one again, option 2. Geeta says my father is an engineer. So from this question, what's the rule that comes to your mind pertaining to direct indirect speech? Can anyone quickly point out? What's the option that says it as it is? Is it 2 or 3? It's option 3. Right? Geeta says that her father is an engineer. You don't have to change anything and you can just put it as it is. Right? So for example, I'll just give you another example just to reiterate that. So if you have the teacher said God is omnipresent, right? Active voice, change it to passive voice. What will you say? You can say the same thing. You can repeat the same thing. You don't have to change anything the teacher said. All you have to do is add that. God is omnipresent. This is a universal truth, right? You don't have to change anything here. That's it. So option 3, as it is. Meeta says that her father is an engineer. Perfect. So all you've added is that. Like how we've added it here. That's about it. This Rahul said to his friend, where are you going? Rahul said to his friend, where are you going? So we already know that when you have said to, it gets changed to asked in the indirect speech. The only option that gives me that is 1 and 4. Right? I can safely eliminate 2 and 3. So out of 1 and 4, what's it going to be? 1, it doesn't have asked, it has told, right? So that cannot be the right logical response, right, when you're changing it, because where are you going is a question. It's not telling somebody, it's not a statement. So you can safely eliminate option 3 in fact. Right? So the option here is 1. Rahul asked his friend where he was going. The tense also changes appropriately and you have said to asked. So the option is 1 here.